Hi, this is Stuart and Lisa's behind the camera. We today are going to do a beef Bourguignon, like my mum used to make back in Scotland. Lying, she never made anything of the kind. So what we've done is we have prepared everything. So I'm going to show you what's in this thing first, and then we're going to start cooking. So we got your bacon, we got your onions, we got garlic, we've got better than beef bouillon. This is 2 pounds of mushrooms, which is maybe excessive. This is pearl onions. We got carrots, we got thyme, we have bay leaf, we have parsley flakes because we don't have fresh parsley. We've got wine, I'll be having a gulp of that before we're done. We've got granulated garlic for some reason. We've got pepper, and
that was supposed to be salt.
we have flour. Okay, so
And then we got the
so that should be salt. We're going to bring out the salt.
2 pounds of stew meat over there. You can use any kind of steak you want. I just want to say a little bit about this recipe. This is Julia Child's Bourguignon. And oh gosh, do you remember the movie Julia to Julia? That was probably 15 years ago that came out, and she did all of Julia Child's recipes.
Well, she's talking, I'll start doing.
Yeah, 365 days. Well, anyway, I got Julia Child's cookbook at the time, and I decided I'm going to make the Bourguignon. And her recipe out of that book is way more labor intensive than this recipe. This is kind of like the simplified version. And you can find this recipe again, just Google it and Bourguignon. I'm probably saying that wrong. Julia Child's, and they kind of give you the simplified recipe. And so anyway, it's really fun to make with a family member, a friend, and it's kind of an all day, but it's really, really delicious. But you can simplify it. Like, you don't need the pearl onions, but I think they're delicious in the recipe.
What are you pointing that camera at?
So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to start off by you saute or brown the bacon in olive oil. And you do that for about you get it kind of crispy. It said crispy. So we'll pause right here and then we'll come back.
And we're using olive oil. Now hang on, let me put the thing in. All right, bacon's in. And now we can do a quick...
Unless you want to talk about something, Stuart. Have you thought of any funny stories?
No funny stories today. Not right now, anyway. Let's pause it, and then I'm going to brown the brown the bacon. Is that brown enough?
Yeah. So you want to cook like a half a pound, bacon?
I did half a pack.
Half a pack.
So 8 ounces.
Yeah, and you want to get it till it's kind of crispy, and then you want to take it off.
Right, I'm going to do that now.
Do you guys see our new fire? Stuart went around and took out all the, we had 3 TVs in here. So I had an idea, well, why don't we take this TV in the kitchen and put like a decorative fireplace. And it's really cool because you can, you know, change the flame on it. Let's see. Yeah, so you could do blue, and then you could change this, the color of that. It has all these different colors.
That's great, Lisa.
Yeah. And so now Stuart is seasoning the meat with salt and pepper.
Just salt and pepper. And I'm going to do it a batch at a time so that it lies flat in the pot. By the way, the reason why we do these meals is because they're one pot for us RV full-timers. It's one pot. There will be another pot, I guess, to use because we're going to have some noodles or something with it. But you can do the whole thing in one pot, which is great for us full-time RVing people. All right, so I'm going to do the meat one little splosh at a time.
And you brown it.
I'm just browning it.
Yeah, don't cook it through. Just get it all brown.
Then I'm going to take it out and shove it on top of the bacon there.
Right, right. We'll come back after he's browned all this. We'll do the next step. Unless you want to say something. Sure, you always have stories.
I've got a story, but it's not a funny story. My dad used to get pissed off when I was peeling an onion because apparently I took too many layers of skin off the onion. I don't know if he was such a cheap bastard that I was wasting onion, or maybe he just didn't like the way I peeled an onion. but he used to get cross with me because I was, and the same with a potato or an apple, or you know, anything where I was taking too much skin off. He used to get annoyed with me, but I think he got annoyed with me about most things.
Oh, sorry about that. Happy Easter, by the way.
Yeah, it's Easter Sunday today.
Easter Sunday. I cried this morning, missing my family, missing my kids.
The Lord.
But we had a storm last night, Stuart.
Oh yeah, and we had a storm, and right now our water heater's not working again. So that's the good news. And the other news is that did we mention the TVs? Did you show the space?
Yeah, so he's taken out all the TVs. We have 3 TVs in this place. He took this one out. We're going to replace this one. The bedroom one, we're going to do something with it. I don't know. We're debating. We don't watch TV in bed, so I don't think we're going to put a TV in there. But
the TVs in here were like 15 years old.
Yeah.
They didn't have any Wi-Fi. So I wanted to have at least one
and
TV.
then did you take the TV? We have an outdoor TV
I took
too.
that out too.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So I took out all the TVs. They were like 15 years old. They weigh a ton. And I took them all out. And we're going to certainly replace that one over there with a 42-inch or 43-inch TV. Because we don't watch a lot of cable television, but we enjoy watching Netflix and Hulu and, you know, movies and series and such in the evenings. But after we're finished cooking this, we're going fishing
That's our new thing.
for a little while.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll pause it for now and we'll do the next step coming up.
All right, 2. All right, so the meat's over here. Finished browning the meat. The bacon's underneath. I've got the meat on the top. Now I'm browning the onion. Do I need that again?
The onions and the carrots at the same time.
And the carrot. And then what about the garlic?
Not yet. So you do that for 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then after 3 minutes, then you'll do the garlic.
And where am I putting that? I'm leaving that in the pot. Right?
I think so. I'll read the directions.
Yeah, we're checking out. I think I'm browning the onions and cooking the carrots. I think they stay in the pot. We don't need to
Let's see.
remove anything at this point. I don't think so. All right, I don't know where you're pointing that camera.
Okay, then add then you add the garlic for 1 minute. And then you return, you return the bacon and the beef back in the pot. You season it with salt and pepper. And then you sprinkle it with flour. Let's see how much flour. Like 2 tablespoons of flour. Oh, did you season it with salt and pepper already?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe skip that step. I thought or it says maybe do it again, but we can always season it later.
Did it say do it again though? Did it?
I don't know. I'd have to go read it again. We were up, you guys. We're kind of tired. We were up. We had a storm blew in, and I guess was it a tornado?
Last night. They were all apparently.
And when you're in a rig, it is like being in a boat in the middle of the sea. I mean, you hear every raindrop.
All right, that's probably 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay,
garlic
add the
next.
garlic. And I mean, I put pillows over my ears. Stuart and I both wear earplugs. And I had a pillow, and I still could hear the storm. And so I don't think it was after midnight
Right,
until
you want
I
to
got
take a
to
look
sleep.
in there?
Yeah, that looks good. So cook it just maybe a minute.
Yep, minute
more.
with the garlic, and then what? Then what? You're gonna put
Then
in
we're
the-
going to add the beef back in and season it with 2 tablespoons of flour, or sprinkle it with 2 tablespoons of flour.
Okay. Three minutes, and then another minute for the garlic. Now I'm putting the beef and the bacon back into the pot. And then I think I'm adding some flour.
Yeah,
Do I not need to add the do I not need to add the beef?
Not yet. Because you want to cook, then it says after you add the flour, you cook it for another 4 minutes. Because the reason you cook flour, you want the flour taste out of the flour. So sprinkle it. Here's the flour. And,
Yeah, but there's no liquid in it.
yeah, but that's what. It's supposed to brown. The flour's supposed to kind of brown.
I'm just going to take, I guess, two tablespoons, which is probably 4 of these.
Well, I don't know. Don't make it too floury. It'll be too thick. Yeah, that's a tablespoon. One more. Okay, that's good. That's probably 3 tablespoons. No more, babe. No more. That's one thing about us. You know, I did all the cooking for years and years and years, and then I married Stuart. We both cook. So I feel like I'm the queen of the kitchen.
You are.
And so
I pretend that I'm the chef.
So we
but I'm
get
actually
kind
the
of
sous
in.
chef.
I'm like this, not yeah. And then we get kind of into some banter because I have a way of doing things, and he'll have his way of doing things.
So when I'm doing things my way and it's the wrong
But
way,
I
then
thank
tell her
God that he
you can
likes.
take
But
over
I
and do
thank
your
God
way.
he likes to cook. That's a real blessing in my life, actually. Okay, so we'll be back in a second.
All right, so I've done the flour for roughly 4 minutes. It looks like. Would you like to have a look in there? See how that looks. And
It's okay.
now I'm pouring in. Oh, I'm doing the pearl onions.
Oh, I want to talk about the pearl onions for a minute.
Going in.
When I first did this recipe, I literally peeled every pearl onion, and it takes forever. So finally, I YouTubed it. How do you peel pearl onions? And so what you do is you throw them in a hot pot of boiling water for about
Right,
3
I'm putting the beef
minutes.
Bourguignon here.
Let's see, hold on. Wine, 3 cups of wine, and then the stock.
And what's this? Is this a cup?
Yeah.
I brought a cup out to do it.
And
but-
then the tomato paste. So anyway, so what you do is you put the pearl onions in boiling water for about 3 minutes. Then you put them in an ice bath for about a minute. Then when you take them out, you chop the very hard end off and you kind of push the onion out. And I really add extra pearl onions because by the time you push them out, you lose a lot of the onion. It's hard to explain what pushing it out is, but you kind of squeeze it and you'll lose like this top part of the skin. And the pearl onions just make it delicious. Now, did you do 3 cups of that?
You did.
Let me see. Let me see your...
I did 3 cups in a splash. I did 3 cups in a splash.
Oh, you did? Okay, then you want to add the beef bouillon.
We're on the wagon, so she's looking at me in horror
I know.
as I take a... And I would never have bought that stuff because it says it's bourbon barrel aged, but actually it tastes pretty damn good.
Does it?
It does.
Okay.
All right, so here's the stock. But
And
you're saying
ag-
only putting enough to barely cover it. That's
I would
half
put
of that.
more. I would just put it all in. It's going to cook down. Just, yeah, you want it all the way covered.
All right.
Okay.
Now what?
And then the tomato paste. And I think the tomato paste, it says 2 tablespoons.
I'm just shoving it all in.
Yeah.
You know, the thing's probably got maybe 3 tablespoons of sauce in here. So I'm just taking the whole damn thing.
And then you want to add your spices. And it's 2 bay leaves.
Let me just get this mixed in.
Yeah, you kind of need to stir that. I guess if you don't want it that whiny, you could put 2 cups of wine in, but you know, you like that richness of the wine. See, I'm thinking that's going to need more salt and pepper, but I could add that later, especially pepper, yeah.
I put a lot of pepper.
Okay,
There's
that's
more
good.
pepper.
That's good. No more pepper.
I'm using it with my usual...
Oh, no, be careful of the salt. You know why? Because of the beef bouillon. The bouillon has lots of salt in it. Okay, then you want to put, did you put 2 bay leaves?
No, I haven't put any bay leaf
Oh,
in
you
it.
haven't put any of the spices yet.
All right, so bay leaf.
2 bay leaves. It says fresh parsley. I didn't get any.
2.
So just put like, I don't know, half a...
How much time?
Like put a half a teaspoon
We
of this.
overtimed it last time.
No.
No pun intended. Yeah, pun intended.
I think that was the other...
No,
No,
how
I
much?
think...
How much parsley?
I would say like a teaspoon.
It's about a teaspoon.
And
Teaspoon
then,
of parsley.
and then
And a couple
teaspoon
of
of
sprigs.
fresh thyme, chopped. But I just throw the sprigs in there.
We'll throw in the...
See, in the Julia Childs, you're supposed to make this little bouquet, you know, out of like
That's really powerful.
yeah,
That stuff is really strong.
you know, like cloth, and you're supposed to, you know, put it in there. And there's just so many more steps in the Julia Child's recipe.
So this
is like simplified.
This is the Lisa Chisholm
Yeah, we could pull
recipe.
those out.
And I put just 3 or 4 sprigs, and that should be good.
Yeah, and so what we're going to do is kind of bring it to a boil, and
Is
then
there anything else? So
no.
The mushrooms
So
are
the
going in
mushrooms
later
we'll
on.
do later. You saute these in butter and garlic, and you add them to the beef bourguignon in a couple hours. So we'll come back and do
So
that step.
that means I need another pot to saute them in butter and garlic.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that 1 pot meal that we talked about is actually 2, and it might be 3 because we're going to do some kind of pasta or noodles or something
Yeah.
with it. All right, that's it.
Okay, so we'll come back in about a couple hours, and we'll do the mushroom step, and then we'll come back again, and we'll show you the final meal.
Back, yep. All right, so we lied again. I mentioned that we're using 2 pots because we got the frying pan, and this is a new frying pan that we just bought at Costco yesterday. And I've got 3 or more tablespoons of butter in here, and we've got garlic in here, and we're going to saute the mushrooms. And we thought we'd do that while this thing's cooking, because this is going to be 2 hours, you said?
Yeah, 2 hours
What time is it now? It's 3:48. So it's going to be about 3:30. It's going to be around 5:30 this evening when that's going to be ready for the mushrooms. Or is the mushrooms going after an hour and a half?
no,
So I chopped up a whole box of mushrooms. It's actually 2 pounds. It may be overkill
Oh, mushrooms cook down.
because I did the whole lot.
Yeah.
And one of them just fell on the ground. So
Might as well eat it.
give me a second. It's going in. If we weren't filming, I wouldn't have rinsed it, but I rinsed it. All right, so I'm going to be doing this. We're going to cook down these mushrooms.
And you can cook when you serve
And
this.
we're going to add pepper, but we're not going to add salt because we're a bit concerned that the beef what's that stuff called? Beef bouillon.
Yeah.
Better than beef bouillon.
Yeah, it might have too much salt
It may
in
be,
it.
it's kind of salty, so we're going to take it easy with the salt, but you can't have too much pepper. So I'll throw in the pepper and then we'll do a taste test. Because you can put salt in, but you really can't take it out.
Exactly. And so with this dish, now if you want to impress somebody, this is a dish to make. It's a dish to make for Christmas or a holiday. It's very rich and decadent. We don't eat like this all the time, you guys, so you know. But you can serve this over like mashed potatoes.
Did I mention we're on the wagon?
I'm on the wagon. You just
I'm
blew
on the wagon.
yours.
I just blew it. Day 1 starts tomorrow.
Yeah, we're trying to lose some weight. Okay,
Which I am losing weight. It's hard to tell. But
you've
I'm
lost
about
almost 10 pounds.
10 pounds down from the high, and it's going down slowly, and maybe that's the best
Yeah,
way to do
he's
it.
getting more exercise going down the
I think the
trails and
secret
fishing.
is, apart from not drinking, is more, the RV lifestyle is more active.
Yeah, it is.
Doing a lot more walking, a lot more fishing, a lot more outdoor stuff,
Right,
a lot more activity,
right,
and that's what you need.
right.
And lots of sex, but that's another story.
So anyway, I was just to go back. This dish, babe, I think you might need to stir that.
This thing?
Yeah, and because
This
I
thing
could,
is hot. Have you got a cloth or
it's
something?
the hot pads are there. But what I was going to tell you with this dish, you could serve it on mashed potatoes. But I picked to serve it with these noodles, these egg
That's now
noodles.
too hot,
Oh yeah,
so-
that's way too hot.
How did that get up there?
Yeah, because we don't want to burn the bottom of that. But yeah, I kind of like to serve it with
This,
noodles.
it's like a creuset. It's not a creuset, but it's like a heavy stone pot. And
Yeah.
it gets very, very hot on low heat. So you got to be careful with the heat. Somehow I had this thing turned up full blast, which was not my intent.
Yeah. But see, you can see how it's thickening already. But give it a couple hours and it'll cook down. Okay, so Stuart's doing the mushrooms.
And how much beef bouillon did we put in?
You mean the
stuff.
I put a couple tablespoons.
And how much water?
3 cups.
3 cups of water.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to hold.
Yeah. So
here.
we'll saute. You saute the mushrooms until they're brown. You know, they're caramelized.
We're going to show you once that's finished. Once it's done. All right, we're back again, and we've still got. This is only 20 minutes in. We've done the mushrooms. They are caramelized. Actually, what we did was we drained some liquid off the mushrooms and put it in the pot. But this is almost, the mushrooms are almost ready, you know, because Lisa likes her mushrooms caramelized. So we're almost done with that. And then once we're done with that, I'm going to do the dishes because Lisa did the dishes this morning.
That's the thing about a rig. You don't have. Well, some of the rigs have dishwashers.
The good news is the
Ours
water
doesn't.
heater's working again.
Oh yeah, the water heater. So it must have just got wet.
Last night the rain was coming in almost horizontally into the side of the rig where the vent for the water heater is, and I think it got wet. So I dried it off and it's now working again, so yay for that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm gonna finish doing this, take it off the heat, get ready, you know, prepared to put them in here, and I'm gonna wash the dishes while Lisa goes out and relaxes.
Yeah, I took an hour walk, run
You know,
today.
I have to tell you too, when I was a kid, didn't like mushrooms. And similar to cucumber, I didn't like cucumber. I remember my auntie said to me, cucumber's 99% water, Stuart. I said, well, it's the 1% that I don't like. Don't know what that's got to do with mushrooms, but same thing. I didn't like mushrooms when I was a kid. Now I love them. Still not that fussy about the cucumber, but I can take it or leave it. So anyway, we'll do another pause here.
Yeah, we'll probably come back and we'll add the mushrooms when this is cooked, and then we'll plate up and show you what it looks like when it's done.
Okay. Okay, so we have got about 30 minutes to go before this thing is officially ready. We're just going to put in the mushrooms.
Now, the recipe calls for straining all this in a colander, and then you pull out the herbs and you pull out the mushroom, you know, you kind of separate, and then you take the broth and you thicken it. But, you know, I just skipped that step.
Yeah, we don't have the time or the patience.
Yeah, you know, you could, but I did it. I've done it that way. I've done the, like I said, the original Julia Child's recipe, and it was so labor intensive. So yeah, so we're gonna let this cook down longer, and we'll come back and
Did you see that?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it needs to cook a good about an hour more.
Looks delicious.
And then we're gonna put
All right,
it.
and then we're going to show it plated once we're done.
Yes.
Okay, done with that one.
So, here is the final stages of Julia Child's Bourguignon. Look at how nice the gravy is. Like I said, there's some recipes that want you to strain everything, but I think it's just kind of a wasted step. But it's up to you. And then we did noodles, egg noodles. So Stuart's gonna plate up. That's good enough for me, babe. That could be mine, and that could be yours.
I'll probably get more because that's why I'm the weight that I am.
Well, you can always have seconds. Yeah, like I said, you can do this on mashed potatoes, which would be delicious. I think I've done it on mashed potatoes, but I kind of like these egg noodles. Oh, that's good, babe. That's good.
Okay.
It's mine.
Okay. Bon appetit.
Yeah, bon
There it
appetit
is.
and happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody.